Hi, it's Amber with Evolve. Today we're going to be going through the 7.4 updates. You are going to fall in love with all of the new enhancements and new features. So let's dive right in. A very exciting tool has now been introduced in 7.4, which will be auto routing. Auto routing allows you to automatically route conduit along a path that is predetermined, and that is going to be looking for the pathway itself. So with the pathway, you'll find the quote-unquote pathway family within utilities system families within Evolve Electrical. With the auto routing, you are able to predefine some settings. These are project-based settings. You're able to specify a distance from the pathway, what it wants to be evaluating for the elements that you are going to be auto routing for. You're also able to adjust the spacing, and also you're able to adjust the start and the finish elements in the way of the ID parameter it's looking for. The tool itself is nice and simple in the functionality. We're able to select the auto route, specify the pathway that we're wanting to evaluate. It is going to pull in information based on your conduit run schedule in the way of the start and the finish. So it's going to evaluate the start and the finish. And it's also going to be looking for the parallel quantity and the conduit size and the type itself. So how or what is going to be placed is going to be based on whatever you have within your one line, or again, what you have pre-set up within your conduit run schedule. So I'm able to select all three of these and hit OK. And now we have our elements predefined. At that point, we can just remove the pathway and go on from there. The Quick Tools panel has grown by a few features. First one is going to be our element swap. This allows you to select the first element, select the second element, and it's going to switch them. So great for if you need to make the modifications, especially after utilizing, let's say, the auto routing. You need to make some few tweaks. This allows you to quickly swap elements and have the correct order that you're looking for the placement of your elements. Our next new tool within our Quick Tools is our splice elements. So this creates a gap in your run based on 2 points that you've selected. So you can first select the grouping of your elements that you want to evaluate. We can select that starting point, or at what point the gap itself is going to start. And then we're going to select a second point at which we want the gap to finish. And between those two elements, everything has been removed. An amazing use case for this is then utilizing our Smart Bend multi-trim. Able to select the two grouping of our conduit, and then the software itself will put in the offset that is needed based on the gapping that was produced with these splice elements. The last brand new tools within our Quick Tools that we'll be going over are going to be the Insert Offset and our Connect Offset. With our Connect Offset, it allows you to specify a target angle. You do have some fallback angles that you can identify as well. So with this tool, you are first selecting the stationary element itself. You're going to hit Finish or Enter on your keyboard depending on your settings within your workstation settings. Next is going to be the element that you want to connect to your first selection. And then we have the offset itself. You are going to notice that this is not an Evolve Smart Bend. It is going to be the fittings and straight placed, kind of similar to what you'd be used to seeing within the traditional native Revit. The other option is our Insert Offset. You have some settings that you can preset up. These are user-based settings. We can identify the type of offset that we're looking for. So vertical, horizontal, or rolling. You can identify the values that you're looking for. We are able to identify the target angle. Also, again, the fallback angles. Also, if you want to isolate the view, or continuous placement. We can select the elements themselves. And we can select 2 points at which we want those offsets to be placed. And at this point, we have our offsets. And just like before, you are going to be able to see that we are not placing the Evolve Smart Pens, we are just placing in fittings and straights. There is a new functionality within our workstation settings for our selection prompt enhancement. So we're able to come in here and enable the experimental selection method. With this method, let's say if I were to define a spool, we're going to have an option for a multiple or a single mode. If I were to select these, you are going to see that the elements themselves are going to be highlighted. At that point, this allows you to be able to physically see what you are trying to select. We'll do that one more time. Again, multiple selection mode. And we can come in here and let's say do a single deselection mode at that point as well. One enhancement is going to be with our connect elements. It does not matter what angle your elements are at when it comes to picking them and moving to a specified point at this point. So I can come in here, select my straight here, and say I want it to be connected at this point, and it will now rotate and connect. Another enhancement is when utilizing our assign run ID. With our run ID, this information here, now if you right click and go to the column chooser, you can bring in additional columns to easily sort and group to be able to find the run ID that you're truly looking for. There are a ton of other new features and new enhancements within our 7.4 release. Highly recommend looking at the release notes or attending one of our office hours or webinars. One quick enhancement to highlight, we do now have the bend angle listed here within the cut and run schedule, which means it is now a parameter if you want to utilize our colorizer or any of your other tools. You can still see our quick bend total to quickly get that total bend, but now you're also able to see within the parameters. If you have any more questions, please let us know, and we are more than happy to help. Thank you.